Now, tonight there's a chilling claim from Nigeria's opposition and a stark warning about the state of this country's democracy. The ADC says its leaders came under armed attack earlier today in Benin City, alleging that gunmen trailed party officials from a political event and opened fire at a private residence, destroying vehicles in what they describe as a survived assassination attempt. At the center of this claim are prominent political figures, including Peter Obi and John Odigye Oyegun, who were attending an event linked to the formal declaration of Olumide Apata into the ADC. The reaction of the ADC has been stark. In a statement, it said that democracy is in danger. But as serious as these allegations are, they raise urgent and difficult questions. Was this a targeted political attack or something else entirely? Who were the perpetrators and where were the security agencies? And what does this say about the safety of political actors in Nigeria's increasingly volatile environment? Because if opposition leaders can be trailed and attacked in broad daylight, then the issue is no longer politics, it is national security. Well, to tell us exactly what happened, I'm joined now in the studio by the lawyer and member of the ADC's National Working Committee, Kenneth Okonkwo. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here again.
Yes, good to see you again.
Thank you, viewers, for joining us.
This has been described by the ADC as an assassination attempt. Tell us more about what happened.
Well, let me first of all say that I was in touch with His Excellency John Odigye Oyegun, the former governor of Edo State, and he narrated to me what happened because I wanted to have a first-hand information as a lawyer. We'll call it direct evidence. And so it's no longer allegedly. It happened. This was an assassination attempt by people I can describe as either the governmental people or their agents. And why did I say so? Governor Okpebolo, recall.
That's the governor of Edo State.
The governor of Edo State. The figure challenged governor of Edo State. Recall that he once warned Peter Obi that he should not step into Edo State except he gets clearance from him and that his security will not be guaranteed. I remember I was in your studio to warn that this is a threat to the life of the opposition leaders. Today, where they wanted to welcome Olumide Apata, the former president of MBA, because this is an attack on MBA.
That's the Nigerian Bar Association.
Nigerian Bar Association, right, into ADC. What they met was about convoy of 10 vehicles with one pilot vehicle controlling them. They went first into the venue where the event took place. And they had left there because they heard that people were coming to attack them. And they ran into Oyegun's house. To confirm their seriousness, they chased them. After shooting things in that venue, they chased them into Oyegun's house and blasted the gate and all the vehicles that were there. So this was an assassination attempt.
Right.
This is genocide against political opponents. You know, this
genocide might be an extreme word.
No! This government has started trying to do genocide against political parties. You must have heard when they said that it's like we are tilting towards one party state. And this was orchestrated by APC to ensure that there is no other party. That is what genocide means.
Yeah, but
having failed to genocide all the political parties, because ADC from the kingdom of grace just emerged, their only choice now is to wipe out the opposition leaders. And that is the next era they are going into.
Right. Let me just make it clear, because you're a lawyer as well. And
yes,
you know that with these kinds of things, one has to be careful what you actually say.
Absolutely.
But unless
yes,
you have absolute evidence to
first
support
instance,
the point that you're making. But let me just say this.
Yes, the governor is the chief security officer of the state, and the president is the chief security officer of Nigeria.
But the fact that Governor Okpebolo said that if you do not inform me when you come in, I cannot guarantee your security, doesn't mean that he's the one who carried out the attack.
Well, then why are you arresting Rufai? Because you said on television he said that we were listening to people.
No, I think that those
and
are two
based on
different
that,
things.
no, I'm trying to tell you
Yeah.
that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you would not blame Okpobelo having made the threat.
No, Okpobelo did not say that. No, hold on.
Yes.
Okpobelo did not say
that
if you come into my state and you don't tell me, I'm going to attack you.
He said,
that's not what he said.
I cannot guarantee your security.
Yeah, El Rufai said on this program that we have our ways of listening to the government, and we were listening to the government.
Yes.
We essentially, broadly speaking, tapped the National Security Advisor's phone. That's a completely different thing.
What he made is an allegation in law, because you have dragged me into it. Even if you come to law court and plead guilty, you are still expected to prove the ingredients of the offense.
Indeed.
Before the courts can convict you. So that somebody came on TV and said, I did whoo to an elephant. An elephant died.
Well, let's get back to
the
crux of the matter, because these are very important things. Let me ask you this. So your sense is that this was targeted? And not just a security breach or isolated violence?
No. It's a premeditated attack.
Right.
Channeled towards intimidating the opponent.
Were there any casualties?
No.
Anybody hurt?
Amongst our leaders.
Right.
We cannot say that they killed anybody.
Yeah, but was anybody hurt?
But other people were injured.
Right.
We are yet to know about the casualty figures because it happened today. But one thing is very, very telling. 3 governors were in that venue. 3 former governors. Because I'm talking directly to Mondo Okpobelo. Because one day you'll be an ex-governor. And may it be rewarded to you that in your state, you will be targeted. John Oyegu, former governor of Edo State. Professor Sumbo, former governor of Edo State. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State. 3 governors. And the federal government with the state government could not provide enough security for their safety. Section 94 of the Electoral Act 2022 that has been repealed. And of course, the same provision has been provided for in the 1996, said that the security agencies must make equal provision for security for both the opposition and the ruling party, and that they will never stop any event that the opposition is to handle. They must provide that even if there is a clash in venue, security agencies must sort it out so that they will all carry out their activities.
So did they have security of their own?
If they had security,
was there security with them?
You know, this government, in order to ensure the intimidation of the opponents, they withdrew purportedly the security.
You mean there was security and then the security was withdrawn?
Yes.
Or you're speculating about it?
Right. You know, that time the government said they are withdrawing policemen from everybody. Yes. They withdrew the security of John Oyegu and all the other people. And that made them
usually
vulnerable.
When you have an event, I mean, you inform the police and the police would send security.
That is what I'm telling you. If the security was there, they wouldn't be attacked.
Right.
So
there was no security, basically.
No, basically. And then, that's why I said it's genocide. It's planned.
And what happened after the alleged attack?
Now,
did they go to the police and report the incident?
No, they reported the incident. Right. Oyegu told me that the commissioner of police was magnanimous enough to visit him. But what we do not know is what happens after then, because most of those things had happened and it died down and swept under the carpet. Let me tell you, this is a manifestation of failure of leadership. Leadership is the ability to influence people through inspiration, not manipulation or intimidation. This government hasn't failed in all indices of governance. They are now employing intimidation and manipulation. You can see what happened today. That's pure intimidation. Now, manipulation, you can see what is happening in the purported amendment of our laws to create rooms for them to rig election. That's manipulation. And do you know the funny thing? They always exhibit the work of unintelligent people. You can see the amendment they did purportedly to the Electoral Act. You can see the provisor, and the provisor is as worthless as the paper that it is written on. You can see a provisor. You know what they said? They said if there is communication failure, if there is no network, the presiding officer cannot transmit, then you will use the manual result to collate. Worthless. You know why? The BVAS functions like your phone. If you snap me now, my image falls automatically to your gallery. And when you upload, you can upload me and my image onto any person or to any platform without network. You don't need it. So network comes only when you download, when you decode. Unintelligent people.
Right, but let me
Today,
just come back
there is nothing like the provisor in the eyes of the law.
Right, let me come back to this issue of alleged attack in Benin, because I mean that's a very critical question. You said the police and other security agencies were not there at the time of this incident, and that you have formally filed a report.
Yes. Now, what I will not tell you now, to my knowledge, was whether there was any policeman that was there or not.
Right.
But what I would tell you was that whether there was policeman or not, is either they were not enough or there were none. But I can't say authoritatively. What I know is that they were attacked in the venue that they held the meeting, because they had to leave there when they saw that there was an advancement of politically motivated thugs to destroy their lives.
Yeah.
And then they ran to Chief Oyegu's house and they chased them there. And because of the fortification of the gates, they were now trying to blast the gates to know whether they can enter. They destroyed all the cars. But fortunately for the people inside, they couldn't gain entrance. Maybe all our leaders would have been dead by now.
But I'm wondering, because you keep making reference,
yes,
and obviously I can't dispute what you're saying, but I can neither support it either because I don't have the evidence.
I called Oyegu.
But I know, but what I'm saying is, I mean, you keep making reference to the ruling party and the government.
Yes.
And what I'm wondering is what it is about that you're gathering in Benin City that was such a threat to them that they would send, because it's not like it happens every day, like all the gatherings of opposition people. Why would they send armed people to shoot at them? Because of, and you see what I mean?
I understand perfectly what you mean.
What is it that posed such a threat to them that they would want to assassinate people there? I don't understand the logic.
Now, first and foremost, I had told people that even if Tinubu runs unopposed in 2027, he will fail. Because the Constitution...
just because you said it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
No.
You said you were going to win in the FCT. You didn't win.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying members of your party.
Before now, I said that the candidature of the members of ADC in FCT was suspect, and that Nigerians should not judge us by FCT election. I said it before. Because... David Mark
members of your party said other things.
David Mark
contrary to what you said.
I will own up to what I said. David Mark led NWC did not provide these candidates for FCT. So they were there before we came in. And I told Nigerians that FCT election should not be the basis to judge us. And you know what? You know what election meant? What it meant is that people said instead of voting for APC, they won't go to vote. 15%. 15%.
Well, that's how you interpret it.
But that is what it is.
Yeah, but the point is that, you see, I'm not a spokesman. Because the next thing people are going to say, oh, well, he's talking...
I'm trying to tell you the threats. The reason,
what I'm saying is
the reason in Edo why they attacked.
The percentage of people who came out to vote in the FCT voted from official figures, voted in favor of the APC.
Now...
So they could have voted in favor of the ADC, irrespective of how few their numbers were.
Good. I don't want to go into the details of the sham election. You and I knew or know that Mwike obstructed people from coming out. He declared restriction of movement. That was to ADC members. It cannot be to APC members because they've already had a meeting and told them that they will not be restricted. But he officially, from 8 p.m.
Yeah, how do they know who's going to vote for the ADC? I mean,
no, they are government
you mean in terms of
power.
campaigners?
They are government in power. So government in power have the minimum persons who are benefiting from them that will vote for them. We are not government in power. So any restriction of movement is going to affect our voters.
Okay.
But that's by the way. Why I'm telling you that Tinubu will lose, even if he comes unopposed. That is the reason they want to destroy the opposition party, because of the threat that they will lose 2027 election. All this hula baloo about people defecting, governors defecting, and all those things. 2027 election is going to be the people of Nigeria against APC.
Let me just return.
So because they know they will lose, that's why their attention is to wipe out the opposition leaders.
Well, let me just return to that incident in Benin City, because again, in many respects, it is an isolated incident.
No, it's not.
It's not a common incident that everywhere the opposition is meeting, gunmen come and open fire.
No, it is.
So the reason
it is. In Lagos State, the ADC leader in Lagos State, who was the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, when he wanted to have a meeting, he was disrupted by thugs. They wounded and nearly killed people in Lagos State.
Right. Okay. Let me
right
ask,
in front
let
of
me
security
ask you
agencies.
this.
And Mondo Kobele, you may not have heard, he has accused ADC that they are the ones sponsoring cultism and that he is going to demolish their houses. So a pattern has emerged.
Right. Okay. Well, let me say this, because in the statement that we received from some members of the ADC who sort of issued it, they said that democracy is in danger.
Absolutely.
Which obviously is a grave claim.
Yes.
Why should Nigerians see this as a systemic threat? Because that's what that means.
That's what it is.
Rather than political rhetoric amplified in a tense pre-election atmosphere.
Now,
which you often get in Nigeria before elections.
Good. I told you there is a premeditated plan to destroy opposition leaders. Since their plan to destroy the opposition political parties has failed, and you were telling me that is an isolated event. In Kaduna State,
no, I'm asking you whether it's an isolated.
No, it is not.
Right.
In Kaduna State, it happened. You saw how they blasted the events where ADC wanted to have their meeting. Now, I've given you instances in all the 6 geopolitical zones. It's happening.
Okay, but let me ask you this then, because we're running out of time.
Good.
I mean, you make the point, and you make your point fairly robustly there. This incident happened around what I might call a high-profile defection, because I mean, Olubida Bata was defecting to the ADC,
His word was
or formally joining
Absolutely,
the ADC.
Better.
Could internal political rivalries or local tensions have played a role? I mean, without it necessarily being some officially sanctioned sort of APC affair.
Then what will the rivalry be for?
Well, I don't know. I'm merely asking you.
That's why we are not doing our primaries. We are not doing our elections. There's no rivalry. Somebody is joining a political party, and the whole different persuasions in ADC, we are all there. So you see Obi was there, Osumbo there, Akpata was there, Oyegu, former national chairman of APC, because APC is a party that doesn't have conscience.
Yeah, but those are all people from the ADC.
That's what I'm saying.
Who were there.
You said whether it is any rivalry. And
no,
I'm saying
it could be rivalries.
Yes.
I mean, I'm purely speculating.
No, I know.
Well, what I'm saying is that it could be rivalries that Abacha himself has with other people. I mean, I don't know.
And I'm saying
what I mean?
It cannot...
Having come from another party to a different
It cannot be, because he has not told you he's going to contest for any election. He has not told you... He has just come in to join a political party.
So your conviction is that it is a broader national plot from the APC?
From the presidency to the governor of Edo State. Because why? The governor is the chief security officer of Edo State. The president is the chief security of Nigeria. 10 vehicles without split numbers moving in one direction. They were not arrested. They were not stopped. They were not interrogated. They finished everything and they left. You know what Abacha will tell you? Abacha will tell you that's state-sponsored terrorism.
But shouldn't you give the government the chance to make a statement about this, to respond? I mean, you're alleging things about them without giving them a chance. You haven't asked them to say, well, this is what happened, what's your response to it? We don't know what the police commissioner discussed with John Odigye Oyegun when he came to see him. Is it not unfair, and you're a lawyer, for you to just be making allegations without actually substantiating it with evidentiary fact?
The origin of criminal proceeding is in complaints. So we are complaining.
No, you're
about
complaining
what is
that
happening.
You were attacked.
That's what I'm saying.
But you're alleging.
That is allegation.
You're making allegations.
Complaint is part of the allegation.
Yeah, well,
it is not our duty to prosecute or to prove.
Well, what are
our duty is to tell the world what is happening.
So what
I have the right to allege.
No. But what are you demanding tonight?
What we are demanding is that there should
be
an immediate, comprehensive, independent, and impartial investigation to what happened, and the culprits should be arrested, prosecuted. This is an attempted assassination, and we believe that it was premeditated, and we believe that the government is responsible for it. They can prove us otherwise, because they have the monopoly of force, monopoly of power, and they have the monopoly of the prosecutorial powers.
But in Nigeria, we know that there are a lot of, non-state actors who are armed across this country.
Yes.
I mean, including, arguably, politicians on all sides of the political divide in this country. I mean, isn't that true? Because a lot of politicians in the ADC have come from ruling parties where they themselves once controlled power. They've been former governors, they've been former, ministers, and in very powerful positions.
Good. Haven't you heard that why we believe that the security situation is festering in Nigeria is because there's complicity in the security apparatus of Nigeria? I'm not the one who said it. The government said it. Goodluck Jonathan said it. He said, I have Boko Haram even in my cabinet. So if there is no complicity with the government, no security problem will last more than 24 hours.
Yeah, but that suggests that people who are and who were in government are equally complicit. And that would include members of the ADC.
No. It is your duty as a government in power to single out whoever is involved and dish out the commensurate wrath of law against the person. And if you don't, you have just exposed your incompetence and complicity with what is happening. That is why you are in power.
Okay.
They are not in power. And that is why you should investigate whoever that is offending the law. And when you fail, you take responsibility.
Well, I certainly hope the government gets to the bottom of this.
No, they should.
Yes.
Otherwise, everybody should prepare to defend yourself.
I want to thank you, Kenneth. It's always very, very interesting and illuminating to have you here. Kenneth Okonkwo is a lawyer and member of the ADC's National Working Committee. Thank you very much indeed.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Bye-bye, and thank you for watching.